Good afternoon. You are watching Vision TV, and this is the weekly news with me, FATOUMATA JAWARA. In the headlines, UDP says Barrow's threat ugly and unpresidential. Barrow considers UDP biggest threat to national security. NPP campaign manager says Barrow has been pushed to the wall. Alhaji Bora's whereabouts unknown after police revoke bail. GPU thumbs down president's comments. Those are the news headlines. Do stay tuned for the news in detail. Welcome back. Barrow considers UDP biggest threat to national security. President Adama Barrow has described the United Democratic Party as the biggest threat to the country's internal security. Addressing supporters at the launch of his party's political bureau in Soma on Tuesday, President Barrow said the biggest threat to Gambia's national security today is the UDP. You will not hear any other political party talking except them. My friend, are they more Gambians than all of us? We all know that things that we were scared to do or said yesterday are what we are doing today. You want to make yourself good sons and make us bad sons? You want to say the president of the country is a bad son, but this nonsense will end. The powers Yaya Jammeh was using are the same powers that I have. He urged NPP supporters to be strong and demonstrate that they are the ones in power. We have laws in this country that everyone will have to follow by force, and if anyone feels that you are more powerful, if you do anything that is against the law, we will catch you and tie you up. No matter how powerful you are, if you live in this country, you are under President Barrow. I am the Commander-in-Chief. We are happy to nurture our democracy, but democracy requires that we all accept the law from the president down. That is what I want to happen moving forward, he said. He said UDP leader Ousainou Darboe's claim that he will not respond to him because he is more experienced than him is laughable. He may be older than me, but certainly not wiser than me, because to have wisdom and education are completely different. I agree that he is more educated than me, but for 20 years, with all his education, capacity and age, he was mercilessly beaten by Yaya Jammeh, who was in turn beaten by President Barrow. He is underrated. I agree also that he can speak better English than me, but I also speak better Mandinka, Fula, Sarapuli, and Wolof than him. I speak more native languages better than him. But where is his education? Barrow, who used to be a senior member of the UDP, said there is now a new UDP which operates on insults. That was never the case when he was in the party. We didn't insult at that time. This thing started a few years ago because of Darboe's rhetoric. They said, I am scared, but I want to announce today that nobody will henceforth insult me in this country and go scot-free. Even if anyone called on a radio station to insult, we will arrest the radio owner. We will also go after those who insult people on social media. And even if a judge bails you, we will arrest you. We want this country to move forward, Barrow threatened. When contacted for comment, UDP spokesperson Alamami Tal said the United Democratic Party has decided not to respond to President Barrow's attack against it or its leader. We have better things to do as a party than to be going back and forth with Barrow, he said. UDP says Barrow's threats ugly and unpresidential. The opposition United Democratic Party has described President Adama Barrow's comment against it and its leader Ousainou Darboe as ugly and unbecoming of a head of state. Addressing NPP supporters on Tuesday at a political rally marking the opening of the ruling party political bureau in Jara, Soma, President Barrow went on a tirade against the passing of Ousainou Darboe and described the opposition party as the biggest threat to the country's national security. Reacting to the president's comment in a statement shared with the Standard, the UDP wrote, "Whatever the president's motivations are for the statement, whether it is a bluster or an intention to target the UDP for persecution, there should be no doubt that those who fought and defeated the tyranny of Yahya Jammeh with their bare hands and righteous determination will do everything in their power to forestall the reconstitution of dictatorship in this country." A statement designating a legally registered political party that is the biggest in the country as posing the gravest national security threat to the country has crossed a line. It is a statement that is not without consequences because a national security threat is a profound designation that triggers a course of action. If the aim of the president is to hope that this irresponsible statement will somehow cower UDP, we assert that we are more determined to defend our rights than any other time in our history. The UDP urged those holding national security portfolios to advise the president on this specific false declaration directed at the party. They should tell him that the illusions of dictatorship he is attempting in this statement have the potential to harm national security, not a lawful political party that is serving the Gambian people diligently and honorably with the responsibilities they have been assigned to do, it added. On the president's declaration that he will direct the police to violate court orders, the UDP said, "We categorically condemn this affront to a co-equal branch of the government. The judiciary is a separate an integral part of any functioning democracy, and by declaring intent to willfully and capriciously violate orders emanating from the courts, the president is effectively saying he is going to abandon the rule of law in his vindictive pursuit of innocent UDP members. Executive lawlessness cannot and should never be tolerated in our country. This is lost on the president, but more likely he is ignorant of the fact that defending the Constitution is a legal obligation of every citizen who believes in the Constitution. A head of state cannot violate the Constitution, and he certainly must never order the police, who are sworn duty bearers to uphold the Constitution, to violate their oaths. The police are not a personal vendetta executing agency. Their job is to enforce the law at all times, without fear or favor. We urge the leadership of the police to respect the judiciary, uphold the law, and this is being made pawns in the potentially dangerous path the president is taking the nation. We wish to retaliate our party's commitment to hold on to our cherished values of peace, justice, and democracy. We believe in the supremacy of the rule of laws as the governing principle of our beloved Gambia. We will break no laws in the exercise of our fundamental rights. However, we will not for a single moment tolerate even a single attempt at lawlessness being directed to us under any guise. This is not a threat, it is a promise. NPP campaign manager says Barrow has been pushed to the wall. The national campaign manager of the governing National People's Party, Lamin Cham, said President Adama Barrow has been patient for far too long, and now that he has been pushed to the limit, it is time for him to retaliate. The Gambian leader has come under immense criticism for his comments against his political rival, the opposition United Democratic Party, and the country's democracy, which he described as loose. Cham said a lot has been said against the president, but he remained patient and focused on the task ahead of him. There are too many unnecessary talks in this country, but you see, when you have a president governing with wisdom and utmost discipline, the citizens should appreciate him, but if they do otherwise and push him to the limits, they will eventually turn him into a monster. And if you give someone power and all the mercenaries and continue to insult him time and time again, he will eventually retaliate. So, God has given us a good leader, but if we turn him into a monster, he will come back to harm us. And then we will start saying he is a dictator, Cham argued. He argued the president to change his style because he is too lenient and that may not end well. Cham or Gambians to be peaceful and remember what we all went through Yaya Jame. Some people are talking loosely today thanks to the President Barrow. So the UDP should be grateful to President Barrow and accept the fact that the NPP is here for posterity, he said. He said the NPP has established itself across the country like no former ruling party has ever managed, especially when it comes to its infrastructural development. Cham commended President Barrow for laying the foundation for the party's future generations of leaders. I have the conviction that the NPP will continue to rule this country for many years to come. The signs are here. The presidency is not given based on knowledge or education. It is only by God's will. There are people who have been attempting to be presidents for years, but they weren't successful. But President Barrow came in 2016 and won, he said. Alhaji Bora's whereabouts unknown after police revoked bail. According to Kerifatu online media platform, its famous comedian Alhaji Bora Sisao has been taken away from the Kairaba police station to a so far unknown location. Bora, who was on a police bail following his initial arrest and questioning over comments he made on his program, was called by police to the station and informed that his bail was revoked and his phone taken away. Kerifatu reported that a senior police officer confirmed that the comedian was no longer at the station and that those interested in his whereabouts should contact the office of the IGP. The Standard contacted the acting PRO of the police, ASP Modu Musa Sisao, who said he was still looking for information about the comedian's whereabouts and would make it available when he gets it. GPU turns down president's comment. Delivering a statement at the opening of the National People's Party regional headquarters in Bansan on Friday, President Barrow castigated the work of some media houses and journalists and said his government has been lenient with them. He said certain media houses would not have existed if the Gambia was not democratic. Reacting to the comments, Gambia Press Union head Mohamed Ba stated, "I believe the President Barrow should desist from making such utterance that will have a direct implication or negative impact on the safety of media houses and journalists in general. I believe such rhetoric could also have a direct implication on our press freedom gains as the Gambia is ranked among the top 5 in Africa in the Global Index ranking and 45 in the whole world. Such comments coming from the head of state against the media will have a serious ramification on some of those gains made over the years. It doesn't look good, and this is a concern to the Union. The head of state should desist from making such statements that will have an implication on the safety of journalists and media." Mr. Ba said the Union intends to engage the government. "We are looking forward to sign a MOU with the Ministry of Information so that we can see how best we can strengthen press freedom. We will continue to dialogue and the conversation even at the level of the presidency. We believe that the role of the media as the watchdog and as the fourth estate of the government must be recognized and respected. It is our responsibility to hold government accountable to the people." That's all we have for you today. I was your presenter, FATOUMATA JAWARA. Thanks for watching.